Imagine coming home to your own land, your sanctuary, your slice of freedom, only to find a 10-foot steel fence wrapped around it, a locked gate staring you down like it owns the place, and a smug little sign that says, "Private property, no trespassing." That's exactly what happened to me, Cole Harper, a 45-year-old retired paramedic, on a dusty summer evening outside San Antonio, Texas. My 50-acre ranch, where I raised cattle and grew pecans, had been my haven for years, until the local HOA decided they could cage me out of my own life. I'm not one for drama, never have been. I'm the guy who'd rather grill a burger and watch the sunset with my dog, Buck, than pick a fight. But when I rattled that gate, felt the cold steel refuse to budge, and saw that padlock glinting like it was laughing at me, something snapped. I'd only been gone 3 days, helping my sister move into her new place in Dallas. 3 days, and the Willow Creek HOA, the folks running the shiny new subdivision next door, had turned my ranch into their personal prison yard. But here's the kicker. Instead of banging on their door or calling a lawyer, I did something they never saw coming. I bought the tiny strip of land their gate was built on, the one with the only key. And let me tell you, what happened next was a wild ride that had the whole town talking. My name's Cole, like I said. I spent 20 years as a paramedic, saving lives, dodging chaos, and learning how to stay calm when the world's falling apart. When I finally had enough saved up, I bought this ranch, 50 acres of rolling hills, wide skies, and the kind of quiet that makes your soul breathe. For 2 years, it was perfect. Just me, Buck, my herd of longhorns, and a pecan orchard that bloomed like a dream. No neighbors, no noise, just the hum of crickets and the occasional moo. Then the developers rolled in, bulldozers and all, and built Willow Creek, a gated community of cookie-cutter mansions right on my property line. I didn't think much of it at first. They're on their side. I'm on mine. Live and let live, right? Wrong. The first letter showed up a month after their model homes opened. Official looking, stamped with the Willow Creek HOA seal, it said my barn's red paint was inconsistent with community aesthetics and my tractor was an eyesore. I chuckled, tossed it in the trash. My land wasn't part of their HOA. Never had been, never would be. But the letters kept coming, each one bolder. Please remove non-compliant livestock pens. Your fencing violates our sightline standards. I ignored them all, figured they'd get bored. Then came a knock at my door. This guy, Victor Klein, HOA president, showed up one morning in a pressed polo and a grin that screamed used car salesman. "Cole," he said like we were buddies, "we're building a cohesive community here, and your rustic setup is dragging down property values." I leaned on my porch rail, sipped my coffee, and asked if he'd like to shovel some cow manure to match his attitude. He didn't laugh, just handed me a pamphlet about neighborhood harmony and left. I thought that was the end of it, but Victor and his clipboard army had other plans. A few weeks later, I noticed orange survey flags popping up along my fence line, on their side, but close enough to make my gut twist. Then strangers started walking my property line, snapping photos, muttering into walkie-talkies. One guy, caught him with a clipboard, said something about boundary verification before scurrying off. I wasn't born yesterday. I drove to the county clerk's office, double-checked my deeds. Everything was clean, legal mind. An old-timer at the desk, chewing on a toothpick, leaned over and said, "Son, if an HOA's sniffing around, they're playing dirty. Watch your back." I nodded, thanked him, and drove home, a knot forming in my chest. That knot turned into a fire when I got back from Dallas and saw that fence. It wasn't just a fence. It was a fortress, heavy steel mesh, 10 feet high, circling my entire ranch like a noose. The only way in was a single gate, locked tight, sitting on a 6-by-6-foot patch of dirt that, according to a quick records check, the HOA had bought a week earlier. Smart move, I'll give them that. They didn't touch my land. Technically, they hadn't broken any laws. They just built their wall on their property, trapping me inside, and owned the only door. No warning, no call, just a sign that might as well have said, "Checkmate, cowboy." I stood there, fists clenched, Buck whining at my side, and yeah, I wanted to ram my truck through that gate. But I've learned a thing or two from years of emergencies. Hotheads make bad calls. So I took a breath, called my buddy Nate, a real estate guy who owed me for helping him rebuild his shed after a storm. "Nate, I said, find out who owns the land behind that gate, the strip that connects to the county road. I want it. He laughed, thought I was kidding. I wasn't. 2 days later, he called back. You're gonna love this. The guy who sold that gate plot to the HOA, he's got another sliver right behind it, road access and all. It's yours if you want it. I wired the money that night. That strip came with a rusty maintenance shed, and inside, a single key, glinting like it knew it was about to change everything. I didn't tell a soul, not yet. I waited for the perfect moment. The HOA's big community picnic, all their fancy residents sipping lemonade on the clubhouse lawn. I rolled up in my beat-up F-150, stepped out with a hammer and a no trespassing sign, and started pounding it into the dirt right on my new land. Victor Klein stormed over, face redder than a summer tomato. What the hell are you doing, Harper? I kept hammering, didn't look up. Just marking my property, Vic. Oh, by the way, this land? Mine now. I handed him the deed, watched his eyes bug out. And this, I said, pulling the gate key from my pocket, means I come and go as I please. I winked, stepped past him, and left him sputtering in the dust. Felt good, damn good. But Victor wasn't one to roll over. The next morning, a convoy of SUVs and golf carts roared up to my gate. Victor led the charge, flanked by 2 HOA board members and a woman in a sharp suit. Lydia Voss, their lawyer. She didn't waste time. Mr. Harper, you're trespassing within Willow Creek's secured perimeter. Your ranch is now classified as internal green space, subject to our regulations. I blinked, thought she was joking. She wasn't. Victor held up a map, smug as ever. We've petitioned the county to rezone your land as part of our community. For the greater good, of course. I felt my blood boil. They weren't just fencing me in, they were trying to steal my ranch without firing a shot. I didn't yell. I called my cousin, Ethan, a land use lawyer with a reputation for making bullies sweat. Put him on speaker, let him tear into them. You've got 3 seconds to get off my cousin's land, Ethan snapped, or I'm filing for criminal trespass, harassment, and unlawful enclosure. Lydia tried to argue, but Ethan rattled off statutes like a machine gun. They left, tails tucked, but I knew they'd be back. And they were meaner, dirtier. A week later, I caught 3 guys in reflective vests digging a trench along my new land at midnight. Not on my property, but close enough to make it clear they were carving a backdoor entrance. I launched my drone, caught them on camera, blueprints, shovels, the works. Then a spotlight hit my drone, followed by a rifle crack. A warning shot sent it crashing. I hid behind a hay bale, heart pounding, wondering who these people were. HOA goons with guns? I saved the footage to the cloud, sent it to Ethan and my old paramedic buddy, Sheriff Mike Torres. It got worse. They paved a road, right through my land. Fresh asphalt, yellow lines, a sign that read, Willow Creek North Entrance, HOA property. Lydia watched from behind the fence, clipboard in hand, smiling like she'd already won. Then someone cut my power line, clean as a surgeon's knife. 2 masked guys tried to torch my barn, caught on my new security cams pouring gasoline on my hay. They ran when Buck started barking, but the message was clear. They wanted me scared, broke, gone. They even sent a fake foreclosure notice from a bank, claiming I owed $20,000 for HOA assessments, fines for my fence casting shadows, my cattle being unauthorized livestock, even my barn roof reflecting sunlight. I laughed, but it wasn't funny. I bought my land outright, no mortgage, no debt. Ethan got the judge to freeze their legal stunts, but I was done playing defense. I called Sarah Ruiz, a local reporter who'd made a name exposing corruption. Sent her everything: drone footage, security tapes, fake bills, the forged county permit they'd used to send a bulldozer toward my porch one morning. Mike impounded that bulldozer, called the permit a felony fraud. Sarah came out, filmed the fence, the gate, the row, my ranch. I told her everything, held nothing back. Her segment, HOA tyranny, rancher fights for his land, hit the airwaves and went viral, 4 million views in 48 hours. Protesters showed up at Willow Creek's clubhouse, signs reading, Free Cole's Ranch. Their social media crashed. I thought that'd break them. I was wrong. 2 nights before my court date, Lydia showed up at my gate, alone, no suit, just jeans and a tired face. I'm done with them, she said, handing me a flash drive. Emails, memos, plans to frame you, burn your barn, fake the foreclosure. I didn't sign up for this. I took it, watched her disappear into the dark. That drive was dynamite. Proof the HOA had orchestrated everything to force me out for a developer who wanted my land cheap. Court day came. Ethan and I walked in, Buck waiting outside with a friend. The judge, Martha Klein, no relation to Victor, listened as we laid it all out. The fence, the road, the arson attempt, the fake documents, Lydia's flash drive. Ethan dropped the bomb. Your Honor, my client owns the land under their HOA headquarters. Legally purchased, fully recorded. Victor's lawyers choked. Judge Klein didn't blink. I've seen greed before, she said, but this is a conspiracy to rob a man of his rights. She ruled for me, dismissed their claims, fined Willow Creek $600,000, ordered a state investigation. By noon, Victor and his board were in handcuffs, let out of their office by Mike's deputies. I stood at my gate, Buck on my side, watching them go. Didn't smile. I wasn't done. That strip of land they'd paved? I'd bought the plot behind it, too. And I had plans. The next morning at 6:30 a.m., my crew rolled in, trucks, an excavator, a trailer screaming Liberty Grounds, opening soon. I was building a community center, barbecue pits, a stage for local bands, a rodeo ring for kids. Right on their doorstep. Willow Creek residents gawked, some in bathrobes, as my sign went up. One guy, HOA treasurer, yelled, "You can't do this." I sipped my coffee, said, "It's my land, and it's about to get loud." Sarah broadcast it live. "Cole Harper's not just free," she said to the camera. "He's rewriting the rules." That night, I threw a barbecue. Ranchers, teachers, kids running with sparklers, Mike strumming guitar. The fence stood in the distance, a broken reminder of their failure. Willow Creek crumbled. Homes went up for sale. Their new president sent an apology letter, invited me to their events. I didn't reply. My center, Liberty Grounds, said it all. Looking back, I wonder, was I too hard on them? Victor and his crew were greedy, sure, but maybe they thought they were protecting their community. Or maybe they were just pawns for a bigger player, some developer pulling strings. I don't know. What I do know is I fought for my land, my way, and won more than a lawsuit. I built something real, something that brought people together. So what do you think? Was I right to push back like that? Or should I try talking it out? Drop a comment, share your story. I want to hear it. And if you've ever had to stand your ground, hit that subscribe button. This is Cole Harper, signing off from Liberty Grounds, with the gates always open.